first heard the word statelessness nearly 20 years ago. I was traveling from the south part of Thailand up to Burma to visit an orphanage that we've been supporting. And our guide, who was also our driver and our translator, had mentioned a story about this influx we had just had in the orphanage of children. And as much as you build an orphanage and you want to be successful, you don't like to hear that you had an influx of children, because children coming to an orphanage means bad news for somebody. And what had happened was there was a brothel in Burma that had gotten raided, and the children that were working in that brothel as prostitutes, and when I say children, I mean from the age 5 to 8, were picked up and ended up, most of them, in our orphanage. And she told me about this one girl specifically called Chimai, and it's still 20 years later, it's very difficult to talk about this because she was a part of the raid. So the police went in and they caught these men abusing these children. Chimai was 6 at the time, and it was a Canadian guy that was busted, and he ended up less than a week later getting on a flight and flying back home scot-free. And the reason he got off with that crime is because Chimai was stateless. And when my guide told me that word, my exact words to her was, "Are you making things up? Are you making up words? Like, is that even in the English language? I've never heard the term stateless before. I was a humanitarian aid worker and I didn't know what this was." And Chimai was born, didn't get registered at birth. She had no paperwork. She had no certificate of any type, no identification. So she was a non-person. She was invisible. And some judge in Thailand ruled that in order for a crime to have been committed, there needs to be an actual victim. Well, this victim didn't have a piece of paper saying she existed, so the perpetrator got let off scot-free and went back to Canada and lived his life. And at that moment, I understood statelessness was, and I knew I was never going to be the same.